Hey design lovers, today's the day and I'm sharing the epic room makeover that we just completed in one weekend. That's right, I only had 48 hours to transform this space from meh to magnificent, and I'm sharing all the details on how I did it. Plus, I'll be giving you my very favorite designer tricks so you can tackle that not so fabulous space in your home. So here's what I was working with. It's not the worst, but let's be real, it could use a lot of love. The room started with a tragic turquoise feature wall, some weird fabric panels hung on each side of the window, ill-fitting blinds, and not so fabulous furniture that the last homeowners left us with. So pretty much everything had to go. Now, this room is my son's bedroom in the house we bought up in his college town. School just started and I had to pull this room together pronto. So the vision I had for this one weekend room makeover was to create a warm, cozy space for my son that honors the home's 1939 history. Of course, the first thing we had to do was clear everything out and get a great welcoming color on the walls. We tried several different paint colors and ultimately my son decided on Cloudy Sky by Benjamin Moore. I love how this color turned out, because it has real depth to it, first of all, which created a great backdrop for all the warm wood tones and cozy fabrics I planned to layer into the space. Next up, it was really important to me that we keep the room as timeless as possible with the furnishings and accessories. But I also wanted my son to be involved in choosing the furniture pieces. So I gave him free rein to pick out whatever bed frame he wanted, and he chose the Linea panel walnut bed from Article. It turned out so good, and it anchors the room with its warm walnut finish and introduces that classic mid-century vibe into the space, which is exactly what my son was hoping for. He's a sucker for clean lines and a nod to shaker style, so this bed from Article fit the bill. Plus, the price was delightful, the quality is absolutely fantastic, and the delivery and setup was a breeze. I tied on 3 linen cushions to the headboard to create a charming layered look, and I love how it turned out. I also love that this bed is one that my son can have for years to come. Y'all know how I feel about investing in well-made, timeless furniture pieces for your home. So if your space is in need of a little spruce up, my friends over at Article are offering $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. So be sure to click the link in my description or scan the QR code on the screen to get your very own one weekend makeover started. Now, next up on the makeover agenda was to address the less than charming window treatments that came with the house. So I decided to pull out my sewing machine and get to work. There were a few boxes that the new window treatments needed to tick. 1, they had to add some color and pattern to the space. 2, they needed to be super affordable, like hint, hint, under $40. And 3, they needed to block out the sunlight early in the morning because, as we all know, college kids love to sleep in at any chance they get. So to create the look, I just sewed 2 contrasting fabrics together. The blue is an upholstery fabric, so it's thick and blocks out the light. And the plaid is just a lightweight quilting fabric that adds that hint of nostalgia I was looking for. I added small iron hooks and buttonholes for hanging, and voila, my vision for an adorable summer camp window treatment came to life. After addressing the windows, we needed to bring in storage and a tabletop to make the room more functional. So I added this antique chest that has tons of drawer space for clothes. And I love how it balances out the walnut bed on the opposite wall. I also added in this fun little bamboo folding table for beside the bed. It gives this corner a little vintage nod and was the perfect perch for a mid-century lamp that my son loves and has had in his bedroom for years. I went with a nubby wool rug to add some softness to the original hardwood floors, and also layered the bed with crisp cotton sheets, a taupe herringbone coverlet and shams, a seersucker duvet cover for added warmth, a leather pillow, and a plaid wool throw blanket to pull the look together. As for the walls, this room was screaming for some art and accessories, so I decided to keep it classic with all antique and vintage pieces. I started with this periodic table over the chest, which nods to my son's love of science and chemistry. And then I added an antique painting with a piece of cedar hung below, a vintage hat rack, a small antique mirror, and a fun little piece of octopus art out of an antique book. All these pieces layered in really make the room feel so much more interesting and personal, and I love how they give this space that classic feeling that I was going for. Last but not least, I added in some fun accessories like a stack of books, a small camp lamp, a stone tray, ceramic catch-all, and antique chemistry beakers that I used to hold a few branches that I clipped from the yard. The final result turned out so good, and honestly, I can't believe we pulled off a room makeover in such a short amount of time. I'm really happy with how everything turned out, and I hope this space inspires you to roll up your sleeves and tackle your very own room makeover in a weekend. It can be done. Now, if you're looking for even more design inspiration, I want you to watch this video next. I know you're going to love it. Let me know in the comments what you think about our one weekend room makeover, and be sure to connect with me over on Instagram, Pinterest, and our blog at Ashley Childers Home. Y'all, thank you so much for watching, and remember, good design is for everyone, so create a home that inspires you. Have fun making over your spaces and fall in love with where you live, one room at a time.